If the guy you're dating ever says to you, it'd be nice if you paid or at least offered to pay to show that you're not using me as a wallet, your response needs to be, it'd be nice if I didn't have to offer to pay to show that providing for me isn't a burden for you.
Welcome to the wall. At what point did modern women start believing the world revolves around their whims? Today we're going to look at everything from the woman who refuses to take the last name of the man she claims to love, to the one screaming "screw men" while demanding impossible standards, and another who turns a simple coffee date into an emotional meltdown. Let's get started.
The reason men tend to think women's tears are a form of manipulation is because that's the only reason they are willing to cry. Now let that sink in.
Oh, I'm only going to change my last name so I have the same last name as my kids. Have you considered giving your kids your last name? Because that's what I'm going to do. But if the kids are coming out of me, they're getting my last name. And if my husband or whoever wants the whole family to have the same last name, he can change his to mine. Because I will not be doing that. I will not be changing my last name to anybody else's because I already have one. Why do I need a new one? If you're thinking, Tori, what if your husband doesn't want that? He wouldn't be my husband. Simply, I would not be with somebody who would not be okay with that or also think in the same way. So, hope that helps.
Stop it. Get some help.
I've always said it. A woman only makes demands when the man is broke or has low self-esteem. Think about it. If he were a man with money, from an important family, with a legacy to protect and a last name that actually means something, I guarantee you she'd be the first one begging for her kids to carry that name. A last name is a family's legacy passed down through the father. There are men who have literally paid their grandchildren just to carry it so it lives on to the next generation. Taking that away from a man is basically telling him he brings nothing to the table. And then they wonder why marriage doesn't mean the same anymore.
When women say they don't like men that play video games, it rarely has anything to do with the video games themselves, and it has more to do with things like emotional availability and emotional maturity and time management. And a common frustration is when a guy is more invested in his screen than talking to his partner. Like if you're in the middle of having an emotional conversation and you're trying to connect, and then your partner is in the middle of a boss fight, it can be really hard to have that emotional conversation. And over time, this can make somebody feel invisible. And I think that that's what it really comes down to is like sometimes when guys care more about their video games, it makes women feel invisible in their relationship. Playing video games a lot can also be a sign of like emotional avoidance and avoiding conflict. So long story short, women don't hate men that game. In fact, I love gaming myself. I'm a woman that games. My fiance games. It has nothing to do with that. It has more to do with like balance and being there for each other and not letting it take control over your relationship. Women don't hate guys that game. They hate feeling like a lower priority and like their feelings don't matter as much as them in their game. Honestly, the life hack is just to be a couple that games together. That's the most fun. Get a co-op game, play split fiction, something.
Sorry, not to be a hater, but the male loneliness epidemic, who fucking cares?
Apparently, a lot of people do, or else there wouldn't be so many individuals out there making videos telling everyone how much they don't care.
Oh, yeah, what are you guys gonna do now? Pew pew up a bunch of schools? You already do that.
Yeah, very few people actually do that.
Oh, you gonna unalive your wife and kids? You already do that.
And again, they're talking about a very small percentage of the male population, but mentioning that wouldn't make a very good video, would it?
You're gonna terrorize nations? Already do it. Start a war? Did it.
I find it very convenient the fact that they left out all of those women rulers that actually started a multitude of wars. But I digress.
Destroyed economies? Did it. Destroyed democracies? Doing it now.
Wait, are they trying to imply that there's no women in positions of any power anywhere in the world that could influence those decisions? Okay.
We're not afraid. And now you guys are just lonely and we're still not afraid. So, sorry. Male loneliness epidemic, get the fuck out of here.
It's very popular right now to be a misandrist, and if a person was wanting to jump on that particular bandwagon. Remember, all a person really needs to do is make a bunch of disparaging statements generalizing an entire demographic with no regard at all for the fact that most men actually happen to be good people that are guilty of none of the things mentioned.
There's a growing wave of misandrist women. To them, everything is men's fault. These are single women who truly believe a man adds zero value to their lives, while it's men who keep the economy running and make the world keep spinning for them. Everything bothers them. Take the gamer guy's girlfriend. She's got a man at home who, in his free time, plays video games. That bothers her. But if he were out drinking or hanging with friends, that would bother her too. A man needs his space, and the woman who respects that is the one who has long-lasting marriages.
I can't be the only one who feels this way about dating. I feel like more and more people are settling for being chosen. Now, let me elaborate on what I mean. I feel like the dating landscape, especially in London, is so bleak that people are willing to forgo the bare minimum just to be chosen. So that means that they will go with the partner that is not going to listen to them, that is maybe going to disrespect their boundaries, that maybe doesn't even want to talk to them during the day, just because it feels safer to be chosen than it does to remain single. And I just think it perpetuates this bad behavior in the dating space. Does anyone else feel this way? Let me know your thoughts.
Women want the bears, and we want you to subscribe and help us hit 1,000 likes on this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion in the comments. It's important to us. All right then, let's get back to the video.
On the topic of the patriarchy, I can't stop thinking about this. Western religion has millions of people devoting their entire lives to a man, an omniscient being in the sky that claims via anecdotal text to have created life and created the world as we know it, when in real life, every day, women are creating eyeballs from scratch, brain stems, human beings. We are creating human beings with our bodies, and men still would prefer to worship a god, a male god, because he claims to have created life. We have no evidence that God created life, and yet women are not worshipped simply because we are women. I'm so done. I'm so done.
I'm also fed up with all the nonsense I have to hear. But here's the thing. We have to put these crazy ideas out into the world to show exactly what's wrong with these women. Now tell me something. The Virgin Mary and all the other virgins celebrated in the Catholic Church, aren't those women people literally pray to? Man, honestly, I don't know what these women have in their heads.
These are some of my controversial non-negotiables when it comes to dating. And a lot of you are going to hear these and be like, well, the reason you're still single is because you're really picky. You know what? I'd have to agree, but I think I should be picky when it comes to choosing somebody that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. Start off with, and this one's honestly kind of random, but no video games. I don't want a man that plays video games. I do not want to have a PlayStation, Xbox, whatever, a console, whatever. I don't know why this is something that's such a big deal to me, but I hate video games with a passion. I just get really, really triggered when I see a girl on my For You page that's just like, oh, like, it makes me really sad when I, spend time with my boyfriend. He's just on the game with the boys. It's just something that I genuinely would really hate. And if you're like, oh, like, you can't force a guy to stop playing video games, that's not fair to him, 100% agree. I would never force someone to stop doing something that they like. If I find out that that's something that they really enjoy doing, then I'm just gonna stop seeing them. I don't think this one's crazy, but I don't want a guy that excessively uses any type of substance. And smoking or drinking here and there, totally fine, but like, what, you don't need to do it every week, Also 100% applies to me. I rarely ever drink. I never really smoke. I don't do drugs. I don't vape or anything. So I don't want a man that does either. Emotional intelligence is definitely a non-negotiable for me. I completely understand that emotional intelligence is a learned skill, but I am not here to teach you how to be empathetic. I will just never forget this time when I was seeing a guy and he had just trauma dumped on me, and I spent an hour consoling him and, being supportive for him. And then I was talking about how my mom was like suffering and low-key on her deathbed, and I wasn't overly emotional. I was just like, yeah, like, she's not doing well, like, she's not gonna make it. He just looks at me and was just like, damn, that really sucks. And then immediately switched to talking about something else. Are we being for real right now? That's insane. I'm just not gonna sit there to teach a man basic empathy. I'll only date guys that are entrepreneurs or don't have a traditional career path. I feel like that's gonna get a lot of people heated, but it's honestly like, sure, part of it is like the money, but it's less about the money and just more about the characteristics that come along with a guy that is an entrepreneur. I need a guy that is disciplined and ambitious and motivated and has a lot of drive. I also like the flexibility that comes along with being self-employed. He has to be fit and in the gym. I work out, well, I'm doing 75 hard right now, so I actually work out every day. But normally I work out 5 times a week. I didn't realize this was a deal breaker or non-negotiable for me until I went out with a guy that didn't consistently work out. It really bothered me. Like, I hated it so much. I couldn't stop thinking about the fact that he didn't work out, and so yeah, now it's a non-negotiable. Also, being 6 foot is a non-negotiable. That's pretty much my only physical requirement. And I know I'm gonna catch a lot of heat for that, but I don't really care. I'm on the taller side. I'm like 5'8". I don't want to be eye level with my man. I went out with a guy that was 5'10" once, and all I could think about was the fact that I felt like I could pick him up and put him in my pocket. I don't know, it's just like, if his height starts at the 5, that's a friend. Not gonna lie, I have a very long list of non-negotiables, as I should, but the last one I'll share for now, which I think this is kind of a non-negotiable for a lot of people, but I just don't want a man that has a girl best friend. I don't have a guy best friend. I don't care if he has girlfriends, because I have guy friends, that's fine, but a girl best friend, I'm just not gonna do that. It's not even necessarily an insecurity thing. It's just like, I've seen way too many times that they end up cheating with that girl. I'm not putting up with that. In the same way that I would never have a guy best friend when dating a guy. But yeah, let me know if you want a part 2, because this video was getting a little too long.
All she was missing was demanding he make 6 figures. Seriously, how delusional are these women's standards? And I can guarantee you the guys she's dated in the past don't even meet half of what she's asking for. The other thing is they think they have the right to demand all this from a man just because they showed up, because they don't offer anything beyond their presence. Where's the part where they say what they bring to the table? Where's the I want a man like this because I bring this? That's exactly why they're single and will stay single. Keep chasing that fairy tale prince.
Women.
Guys, I went on maybe one of the best first dates I have been on in recent years, but maybe ever this weekend. Okay, here's the story. We met on Hinge and we instantly clicked. I mean, it was just immediate banter, immediate conversation. We got deep, we got surface level. We were just really vibing, and we weren't messaging for that long. It was probably just a few hours. Eventually, he asks me to coffee. I say yes. He sets it up. He asks, what day are you free? What time? Da-da-da. And your girl's excited. Okay, I don't match with a lot of people very often, but this person totally just struck me. I found him very attractive. I liked his prompts. And again, our conversation flowed so quickly, so easily. So I show up to the coffee shop and he shows up right after me, and he walks in and I'm just taken aback. I'm taken aback by his beauty. He is just as gorgeous as his photos, if not even more in person. We meet, we hug, instantly we hit it off. It was like that perfect back and forth energy from the chat just translated perfectly into real life. I mean, we literally vibed basically the second we started talking. We get our coffees and we find one table that's available that's nestled right in the corner of the cafe, away from everyone else, like we're in our own little planet. And we talked and talked and talked. We spanned superficial subjects like favorite movies, music, to deep subjects like trauma and our last relationships. And he was the one actually asking me all of the deep questions, and typically it's me. The eye contact was unparalleled. You guys, he was like staring into my fucking soul, and there wasn't a phone in sight. Literally completely undistracted, talking the entire time. After 2 hours, I'm like, I gotta pee. So I get up, I go to the bathroom, I get out of the bathroom, I come back, and this motherfucker ordered another coffee. He was like, I got another drink. I wasn't sure if you wanted something. Do you want me to get you another drink? I was like, excuse me? I literally thought after I was done peeing, we would wrap it up and go home, but this motherfucker was not done yet. He was locked in, ready for round 2. So I was like, sure, yeah, I'll take another tea. So he goes and gets me my tea, comes back to the table, we sit down, and we are literally there for 2.5 more hours. Our entire date was 4.5 hours. You guys, we were sitting across from each other with no distractions, no phones, completely locked in, talking the entire time in riveting conversation for 4.5 hours in the corner of this little coffee shop. It was out of a fucking movie. It was literally rom-com coded. And at one point we were both crying from laughter, literally tears streaming down our face from laughing so hard from something that we were fucking talking about. So finally at the end of the date, we're like, holy shit, it's been 4.5 hours. So when we realized the time and started wrapping up the date, it was so sweet. He was like, so if you're interested, I would love to see you again. And I was like, yeah, I'm interested. I would love to see you again. So he took my number because we were just previously messaging on the app. So we walked out of the coffee shop, we hugged goodbye, and that was it. After I had been in my car for all of 2 minutes, I got a text from him, and it was because he turned on his car and a song that we were talking about was playing, and so he made a joke about it, and I made a joke back, and then that was it for that interaction. So we went out on Saturday, and it's now Monday. In my book, Proper date etiquette is to follow up the next day and say, hey, I had a really great time. Let's set up that second date. But I have not heard from this motherfucker. I told him on the date, I like to be pursued. I like men to lead. I want you to put in the effort. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what I'm available for right now. So I made it clear. So at this point, I haven't heard from him in over a day, and I've decided that I'm going to give it a solid 48-hour window of time. And if I do not hear from him by the end of today, this man has disqualified himself. My husband is not making me wait. There is no lag time with my husband. Okay, I'm giving him a little bit of runway, right? 2 solid days, 48 hours to reach out. But my husband is really fucking excited to lock down that second date. My husband wants me to know for sure that he is interested and he is pursuing me. So yes, I had a wonderful fucking date with this man, and I would love to see him again. And we did have great connection and great chemistry, but the date doesn't really fucking matter. What matters is what happens after the date. Consistency, effort, showing your interest. This is what I'm interested in. So we'll see. The clock is turning. He has till fucking midnight. I'll keep you guys posted.
First of all, why was this date successful? Because it was at a coffee shop. This woman didn't fall for the modern narrative that demonizes a coffee date, calling it low effort. She showed up, talked, got to know him. That's exactly what a first date is for. The guy took the lead in the conversation, asked questions, which I recommend, was fun, and paid the bill, which I also recommend. To me, this man nailed the date. Of course, this only works when you're out with the right woman, one who's open to getting to know you and is genuinely interested. I hope this guy doesn't let the opportunity slip away, because he's already got the path cleared for a killer second date. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, these questions are for you. Do you think these women actually want a partner, or just validation? Why are modern women obsessed with male loneliness? If you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support means the world to us and keeps us motivated to make more content. Stay tuned for the next episode of The Wall.